dominating this series. Lights are up, but the spotlight is on Shane Beamer. He's on the field with our Cole Kubelik.
Coach, this atmosphere, there's not much like it in college football. What can you do as the head coach to assure that your team can use this to their advantage?
Yeah, it's the best atmosphere in all of college football. We've talked about it as a team all week, that our fans are a weapon for us, but it's up to us to go perform well, and that's just doing our job, players and coaches.
We know Diego Pavia is the heart and soul of this Vanderbilt football team. How did you emphasize that to your club this week?
Just that he is their team, that we got a lot of respect for Clark and his program, but there's quarterbacks that he makes their offense go. He's a quarterback that makes their entire team go. They feed off his energy, his competitive spirit, and we've got to affect the quarterback tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Cole, thank you. That was a story with Vandy last year. The atmosphere always fantastic here. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. Mentioned South Carolina on the cusp of greatness. If they want to reach that, really got to start with a win tonight, because 7 of their next 10 opponents are all ranked in the top 25.
No doubt, and the expectation for this program completely changed last year. They finished just outside the college football playoff, literally by a couple plays in a couple games. This fan base, this locker room expect to be in the playoff this year. It starts with this SEC opener, but really it starts with this offense shaking off a little bit of rust, a little bit of a slow start that we saw the first couple weeks. They cannot do that against Vanderbilt, but the expectations really start with Lenore Sellers. The hype, the talent around Lenore Sellers is otherworldly, and the talent is there to match it. Looking forward to seeing him against a tough Vandy defense tonight.
He was your conference freshman of the year last year. He led South Carolina to win on the road against Vanderbilt. In fact, they've dominated this series and have won 16 in a row. Sellers led South Carolina to a 9-win season, to your point. If they had that 10th win, they would have been a playoff team. Then on the other side, there's Diego Pavia. And you heard the guys in studio talking about it. You heard Shane Beamer mention it. He's not just the quarterback. He is the program. Newcomer of the year last year, led him to a win against #1.
Yeah, this Vanderbilt team, this Vanderbilt program, the city has a more of a confidence because of Diego Pavia. They have all assimilated to his level of swagger, as you mentioned it, the confidence he plays with, the physicality as a runner. Everybody has to match the intensity that Pavia brings every single time the whistle blows.
They went on the road and won at Blacksburg. They will face a more intimidating atmosphere tonight. Carolina won the toss, elected to defer, so Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt will receive the football to get us started tonight. And this is what they'll have to deal with all night long. Sit back and enjoy this show here in South Carolina. On a tee from Max Kelly. Trey Richardson back to receive. For a Vanderbilt team which hasn't won its SEC opener since 2011. From the goal line. Past the 20. And tripped up just past the 25-yard line. Well, Diego Pavia is at the controls of what is in some ways a new look Vanderbilt offense. He'll still run some triple option. They'll have the ball in his hands a lot. But they've got some guys in the perimeter that can now take the lid off.
Yeah, this is the difference with the offense this year. They have a ton of speed on the outside. It's not just Eli Stowers, the talented tight end. Trey Richardson, a transfer wide receiver, has a ton of talent. But when you play Diego Pavia, it's the off-schedule plays, the second reaction plays. You have to contain him in the pocket.
Cedric Alexander is his running back. And Alexander taken down in the backfield on the first play by Brian Thomas. And he's not even the most dangerous edge rusher for the Gamecocks. You got Dylan Stewart on the other bookend. Second down, 14. They fake the sweep, swing it up to Stowers, the tight end, and he finds a seam to pick up the first down before being brought down by Goodwine. That's a pickup of 16 to wipe away the first down loss.
Well, this is an offense that really wants to play keep away. They are a unicorn when it comes to what everybody else in college football does. They slow the pace down. They want to run less plays. They want to milk the clock. They want to win the time of possession. And all those numbers that rank near the bottom of the FBS, they're okay with that. They want to keep the offense, the opposing offense, off the field as long as possible, sustain long drives, make this a fist fight for 4 quarters.
Pavia wanted to air it out. Here's a deep field shot, and it is incomplete. Trey Richardson, the intended receiver. Brandon Cisse had the coverage.
Brandon Cisse in coverage, but Richardson had a step. I think he kind of looked like he lost the ball in the lights a little bit. He was running, looking up, looking back, trying to trace it. He's not able to come down with a pretty good ball, and already Vanderbilt with the screen to Stowers, big play action shot. They may take their time on offense, but they're not aggressive. They will still come after you.
And on the face mask didn't help Richardson in that regard. Another empty first down play for Vandy. Here comes pressure from the edge. Pavia goes right to where it came from, and it's a second catch for Stowers, his former teammate and a quarterback competitor in Mexico State before they hooked up to take Vandy to glory last year. Third down coming up.
This is not where Vandy wants to be. Dylan Stewart on the other side, one of the best pass rushers in the entire country, going against right tackle Bryce Henderson. That's a matchup to watch. Any third and long, any third and medium, you got to know where number 6 is.
Seven guys within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. Play clock at 1. They just get it off with the option. Pavia pitches it backwards overhand to Cedric Alexander. And Diego Pavia will have a handful of WTF plays, we call it, with the football.
No doubt. Like, you just never know what he's going to do. The play is never dead. He's going to take risks. Look, this is a play that any coach would say, okay, you got north and south, just keep running and get down. Instead, he's like, oh, ball's still alive. Let me toss it over here. It is backyard football in the best way with Diego Pavia.
He is as unpredictable as a marble race. Now 1st and 10 after the pickup by Alexander on the option. Go with a lead blocker up the middle for Alexander. And a power run game nets 4 for Vandy.
Yeah, Tom, I thought it was interesting. Last year, Diego Pavia told us before games he watches Johnny Manziel highlights, and then the second time we had him last year, he said he watches Johnny Manziel and himself. So I asked him before the game on the field during warm-up, I said, what'd you watch on the way into the game today? He said, you're looking at it.
There is no limit to the confidence of Diego Pavia, who is generously listed as 6 feet tall. It has been quite the football journey for Pavia. He even had to go to court, sue the NCAA to get on the field this year. This time it's a swing out to Richardson, who steps through one would-be tackler and picks up the first down for the junior out of Topeka, Kansas, former Washburn-Ichabod Division II player.
I think the biggest difference in breaking down the film of this Vandy offense this year is the physicality of the group up front. The size, the aggressiveness. Look, I went to Vandy. Back in the day, 2012, my left tackle was 260 pounds. My right tackle was 250 on a good day, right? It's just this Vanderbilt team is not built the way we're used to seeing Vanderbilt teams. The size, physicality, that's why they're able to sustain long drives like this and run the football right at good defenses.
The center, Jordan White, transferred in from Liberty. Played against Pavia, said, I hated him then. I love him now. On the rollout. Caught at the perimeter by Martell Height. We'll see him on both sides of the ball. That's a pickup of 18, and this sustained opening drive rolls on.
Yeah, when you got a good pass rusher like Dylan Stewart, you want to run away from him. Watch him trying to work through a double team. So Tim Beck's going to have Pavia roll to the left away from the talented pass rusher. As much as possible, they're going to have two bodies on Dylan Stewart. They're going to move the pocket, reset the pocket, not give him clean looks at Diego Pavia.
Here's the 9th play of the opening drive for Vanderbilt. Two tight ends on the right side for the Doors. A little bit of eye candy before the snap. Pavia dumps it off Alexander. One-hand grab. And he's at the pylon, and he is in. 18-yard catch and run by Cedric Alexander, who was simply sensational on this drive. Pavia may grab the headlines, but Alexander gets the tough yards.
See Cedric Alexander here, putting his shoulder now at the goal line. Yeah, that's a touchdown. What a drive by Vanderbilt.
9 plays, 73 yards, and 5:27 off the clock. They're taking an extended look. And I think one of the questions will be, was there a foot down on the sideline? Daniel Gautreau is our referee. Our replay official is Chris Rake.
This will be a good look at it here. Alexander's going to turn his back. It's going to be his right foot. He's already over the pylon. Good call there on the field.
Connor Taylor for the point after. And he punches it through. What a start for Clark Lee's Commodores as they look to win their SEC opener for the first time since 2011. Cedric Alexander hits pay dirt early, and the Doors feel it.
After careful consideration, I've decided to take my sponsorship talent to the SEC. Nope. Sorry, this would have been a lot cooler if I could actually put this hat on my head. Sanderson Farms, official chicken of the SEC.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
Charleston is a city of many splendors. To get to know this old city in new ways, True South walks back alleys and strip mall suburbs, listening for different songs, searching for the tastes that define this place. True South presented by Yellowwood, Charleston, South Carolina, Tuesday on SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app.
Never seen it like this. You ain't never seen it like this. You ain't never seen it like this. Look at me go. Hey, we about to blow. Act like you know. Hey,
Off to a rollicking start at Billy Bryce tonight. Cedric Alexander with a catch and run to put Vandy on top. And Diego Pavia goes 5 for 6 in the opening drive. No return for South Carolina. And as promising as Lenora Sellers' freshman year was, Jordan, he got off to a slow start in the season. He turned it up late. And this offense is not only off to a slow start through 2 games, but also in the first half of games.
No doubt. A lot of new faces and new pieces around Lenora Sellers. Look, there's a reason he's in the conversation of a Heisman Trophy this year, a #1 overall pick potentially in his future next year. The sheer talent ceiling is unbelievable. How are these guys going to step up around him, the receiver group, the running backs? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, how about that for a start? He's able to fit it in to Jordan Dingle, and he takes it all the way down to the 40. Second straight game, Carolina has opened with a pass to its tight end against a Power 4 opponent. That one goes for 33.
I love this. This is the way they started the Virginia Tech game just a couple weeks ago. They were getting Lenora Sellers on the run, getting guys on the move, whether it was tight ends or receivers. That's a way to start when you kind of trying to shake off this slow start and rust like you were talking about.
And they went with Mo Brown against Virginia Tech, and here's a massive hole for Faison, and he rips off a first down run. Shane Beamer wanted to start the Virginia Tech game with a physical message, and they've done that in the first 2 plays of this contest.
And I love the tempo here. You need to answer. Vandy just slowed the game down, methodically drove the field to get this crowd, Willie B, back into this one quickly.
For 2 games in the first half, Carolina has had 11 drives, but only 1 touchdown. Sellers sheds one would-be tackler right at the line of scrimmage and ends up picking up 8. Tough dude to bring down.
It's one of the most dangerous parts of his game, his physicality as a runner. I've said it, a lot of other people have said it. I think he's the closest thing to Cam Newton that we've seen. Not saying he's going to be Cam, but just from a physical standpoint, the strength, the speed that he runs with, so tough to bring down with one guy.
Whereas OC Mike Shula coached Cam Newton with the Panthers as they went all the way to the Super Bowl. Here's another draw. Sellers gets cut down but tried to stretch for it. That's Martell Height, who already has a catch today. Now he's in on a tackle.
And that's one of those young receivers, Donovan Murph. So that was an RPO. The run was called there. Sellers saw the numbers front side, wanted to throw a little hitch backside, but a lot of true freshmen out there on the outside for South Carolina at that time. Wasn't ready for the quick throw. Part of the growing pains of developing young guys on the outside in the SEC early in their first season.
3rd and 1. Massive swat for Vandy. You got an extra offensive lineman in for South Carolina, and that will help pave the way for Rasul Faison. And look at 78 and 75, Cole. There were 4 yards past where the tackle was made.
That's the second big double team for Kason Henry, the right tackle for the Gamecocks on this drive. But some of that not being said, I think, worked against the Carolina offensive line. You try to go a little bit faster. You don't know exactly where everybody's going to be lined up. Vandy's trying to hustle onto the field. You missed a linebacker, not those 2, but the offensive line in general.
17th straight start for Kason Henry. It's the most on this South Carolina team. Sellers, dime to the 10-yard line, and Nick Harbor. And Clark Lee's awfully concerned about what Nick Harbor can do, Cole.
Well, Nick Harbor is the guy that Clark Lee continued to tell me in pregame warmups that they have a plan for, that they're going to locate, they have multiple coverages for, and essentially said outside of 16, we just have to contain him. They think that he is somebody who can take this football game over.
He had 3 catches for 43 yards in the Carolina win last year. Sellers hands it off. Room on the edge. Touchdown, Carolina. Rasul Faison. Seven plays, carrying 75 yards for a game-tying score. And now Max Joyce on for the point after for Shane Beamer's team. Well, maybe we're due for a shutout. Both offenses score on their opening possessions, and Faison, the tranny, who's just been oiled up all day, finally finds their groove. One hanky for all 78,000 can make a big difference.
This place gets rowdy. One of the more underrated atmospheres in all of college football. We've been to a lot of places, Tom. There's places you know are going to be loud always. This is one that, if you haven't been here, you just don't realize how much of an impact this crowd at Willie B can make in a game.
Dane Beamer loves his kickoff coverage team. Cole is getting excited with the hits down there. They got a bunch of starters on that coverage team, and there's nothing doing on that return.
Well, we saw this Vandy offense go right down the field. One of their staples is using motion to move defenders. Watch the pre-snap motion here. You're going to get two guys are going to pull two linebackers right out of the way, exactly where Diego Pavia was going to go. Originally, they were aligned right where the run was designed. Motion pulls them out of the way, and this is how you steal yards. It's called eye candy. It's called window dressing, whatever you want to call it. Tim Beck, the motions, the unique aspects of this offense help generate yards.
They move on 47% of their snaps. That's 21st in the country to the ground game, and Young, and he finds a half a yard.
Jordan, how about a little 30 personnel right there for Vanderbilt? Three running backs, no tight ends.
That was one thing Clayton White, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, mentioned to us just yesterday. Hey, even adjusting to two backs was new for this defense. They messed it up the first couple times they saw it in practice. So now you got three of them out there. Just the little wrinkles, personnel-wise. Again, shifts and motions. The way Vanderbilt approaches the pre-snap, one of the more creative in college football.
On 2nd and 9, it's Alexander. And this brings up 3rd and long for Vanderbilt. After the tackle by Nick Barrett, they'll have the entire student section breathing down their backs, which I kind of feel is exactly how Diego Pavia likes it. Pavia has started this game 5 for 6. 4-man rush. Steps up in the pocket. It holds long enough to get it away, but incomplete. Richardson, the nearest receiver. And now they got to punt it away to the most dangerous return man in college football. Makari Swain has 3 punt return touchdowns on the season. That's more than everybody else in the SEC combined, and he's already tied with the legendary Dick Harris, who had the school record in 1971. Swain stands at his 40. This one had some carry to it from the 32. And tripped up before he could get to the sideline. 43-yard punt. 12 on the return. Vandy scoreless on its 2nd possession. Lenore Sellers in South Carolina looking for their first lead.
SEC Network, your home for SEC football.
All right, Tim, I got all your policies here.
Okay, nice. But what if... Covered. Nice. But what if...
All set.
But what if...
Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense.
Oh, nice.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
What if... Here you go!
2, please.
Make that 3. With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment. 3% cash back on salty, 3% cash back on sweet. You know this movie's 3 hours, right?
Good call.
Are you in this one?
Yeah, I'm in this one. Get your tentacles off my 3% cash back. Oh, perfect delivery. Oh, what's in your wallet?
If you're saying too much, baby, go find less. This conference right now is really strong. If you can't keep up, stay below, I guess. It's such a fun point.
Getting kills from all over.
Some of the best volleyball in the country in the SEC.
SEC Network, your home for SEC volleyball.
Fish. Are you certain that's a good idea?
Yeah, I'm just gonna zap it for 20 seconds.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and so much more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik. Dane Beamer's squad had gotten off to a slow start offensively. First 2 games, 1 touchdown on 11 drives in the first half. Problem solved on their first possession tonight. South Carolina has won 16 straight games against Vanderbilt. They have dominated this series, having won 30 of 34 overall. Sellers, strong throw, complete to the 40, and up the sideline goes Nick Harbor. Let's take a look at the impact players when South Carolina's got the ball.
Yeah, second catch for Nick Harbor. They're giving him a lot of cushion at the line of scrimmage. And true freshman Brian Rowe is a guy to watch. The staff raved about him on the other side. Both linebackers for Vandy, Brian Longwell and Langston Patterson. Really the strength of the defense. And with how dangerous Sellers is as a runner, you always got to have your eyes on him. That second level has got to keep him contained.
2 backs now. Faison trying to bounce it to the perimeter. Both 7th-year running backs, and Faison picks up 6 on the edge. He's only playing because of the Pavia rule. Got a waiver to practice with the team, but wasn't eligible until August 25th. Shane Beamer said the hardest thing about it is we kept thinking it was going to happen any minute, but it dragged on and on and on. They're happy to have him on the field. On 2nd and 4, Faison changes direction and he picks up another first down.
But I tell you, Tom, that epitomizes who he is as a runner for me. When I saw South Carolina was going to get him, went back and watched this film from a season ago. Patience almost sometimes looks a little lethargic because he's so patient, loves putting that foot in the ground and getting directly north-south. And you're not going to see him go out of bounds very much. He will seek out contact at the end of a run.
Well, on the first touchdown run, they lost contain. So now Vandy's adjustment, making sure they over-pursue on contain. And so he was just patient, like you said, Cole, and got north and south right under the contain.
Second possession of the game for Carolina. A little bit of dancing in the backfield to find that spot. Faison, and another double team carries all the way inside the 5. Messages being sent by the offensive line for South Carolina. That time it was Trevon Baugh and Shedrick Surratt.
Hey, anytime 2 linemen are 9 yards downfield, high-fiving and headbutting each other, you know they got after somebody. You know Cole loves that.
Can't get enough of it. Block party invitations are sent.
Rowe goes in motion, and Sellers hands it off, trying to go back to that run game, and now Brian Longwell in on the stop.
And this is an area in the red zone that South Carolina's offense struggled last year. 15th in the SEC. They already got one earlier where they converted a touchdown. They were 3 for 3 on scoring in the red zone to start this year. But this is where on a 3rd and long, Lenora Sellers needs to show his development as a passer. The windows get tighter. You got to be really quick with your decisions. Touchdown or check down. Get the ball out of your hands or take off and use that big frame.
That was the first Carolina play tonight to not gain yardage. Leaves him with 3rd and 10. Pressure up the middle. Intercepted. Big defensive lineman was dropping, and Zaylen Wood drops right into a pick. Vandy changed the picture on Sellers, and he's thrown his first interception of the season.
Boy, Sellers tries to dump it down to Attaway. Watch, both safeties are going to come. He's got to actually throw this ball to Jordan Dingle on the short post. That's where the leverage is. The safeties vacate. Jordan Dingle wide open for a touchdown. Tries to dump it off to the running backs right in the face of the safety. And again, that first bad decision we've seen from Lenora Sellers. And I mentioned the red zone is where you're going to be judged as a quarterback. The wrong decision there. Shane Beamer knows it. Lenora Sellers knows it. Double safety blitz, an aggressive play from this Vandy defense, and missed a touchdown opportunity early.
Carolina was looking for its first lead of the game. Instead, Pavia's back on the prowl. Hit as he throws. Underthrown and a flag drawn. And this is what we saw. If you watch Georgia Tennessee today, you saw it multiple times by the Tennessee receivers, although that underthrow was not intentional as he got hit.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's Jalen Kilgore, one of South Carolina's best defender. They're happy to have him back. He was injured last week. Again, underthrown balls we were talking about, you just mentioned it, are such a weapon. Pavia is getting nailed up the pocket. That's the reason this one came up short, not able to follow through. It's Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy all over him. And you can't even fault Kilgore there. I mean, there's no way you can expect the ball to be that low and that short.
Yeah. Alexander next to Pavia. Creeping towards the end of the opening quarter. It's heightened motion. Little toss with a two-way star, and he gets rocketed just as he's tried to turn the corner. Peyton Williams greeted Height.
Down on the field talking to this Vandy staff before the game, they mentioned Martell Height. Obviously a cornerback that they bring over on offense. They want to try to get him even more touches this week. So dangerous with the ball in his hands.
He's the only player in the FBS have more than 30 snaps on both sides of the ball so far this season. Quarter clock coming towards a close, and Diego Pavia will let it expire.
That is the end of the first.
Clark Lee and Van.
I saw on film, you drop a zero nose and get an interception. First, that's pretty cool. Like, that doesn't happen for a lot of defenses. What did you see that made you believe you could have success with that kind of a call?
Well, Big Zay Wood's an athlete. And I think when he was at MTSU, they had a goal line package where he'd throwing the ball. So we like to give him a chance. Now, that's just a pressure show where we're trying to also take away kind of the relief valves. And he got himself in the right position. We were a little late on the pressure, but obviously big play for us. We need to get our cleats in the ground on defense. I don't like the way we're playing right now, but you know, it was nice to make a play there. And now we got a counter punch.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much.
All right, Cole, fantastic work. There's Martell Height with the carry, and it leaves Vanderbilt with a 3rd and 3. This is the possession following the Lenora Sellers interception. See Clark Lee's face light up and eyes get wide. Cole started talking X's and O's with him. Clock at 2. Pavia keeps it himself. Begins upended, but picks up the first down. Jalen Kilgore came in to submarine him, and Pavia flew over the top. They've gotten a face mask full of sod.
That was the exact play we had the breakdown on earlier. You got the running back pulling linebackers and the motion taking these defenders out of the way, and the run's going to come right back up the middle. And all those defenders following the motion, following the flow, and then you get right back underneath to the physical quarterback to pick up the tough yards.
Big back block by Chase Mitchell there, guard for Vandy.
A little draw for Alexander. Shane mentioned this to Cole pregame when he interviewed him down on the field, but I also want to reiterate the message he gave his team. On Tuesday, before they start, they basically give a big picture scouting report on the opposition for that week. He said, I don't do this very often. We started with one guy. We put his picture up on the screen, said this is their team. And then we showed a myriad of plays that make them effective, including running out in front to be a lead blocker in the triple option, succeeding in the drop back game, and running guys over in the QB run game. And Beck using all the play clock possible, pushing it to the edge and maybe too far that time. And Vandy used the timeout.
Timeout. Vanderbilt. It is their first.
Play clock was close. Vandy and South Carolina, both teams 2-0 on the young season. Conference opener, and we're tied at 7 early.
I think I like sports now.
No way. The gecko was just spotted down the street.
I've always wanted to meet him. Ever since Geico's 24/7 emergency roadside service got us out of a jam.
Sounds like you got more than just savings, my dudes.
So do we know you?
Oh, I'm just a stranger who loves friendly service and American football.
Okay. Something to drink?
Oh, yes, spot of tea, be lovely. And a root beer with lots of ice.
You know, you kind of look like someone.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
My cousin Daryl.
Oh, he does look like Daryl.
Matt needed to borrow some money. That Matt chose a personal loan, and this Matt chose a home equity line of credit. With his HELOC from Figure, this Matt got a lower monthly payment, and that Matt doesn't want to tell you what his payment is. That Matt could only borrow $100K and could just remodel part of his home. But this Matt borrowed $400K and made his dream home come to life, plus other amazing benefits. Don't be that Matt. Be this Matt. Figure Home Equity Line. Faster than a bank loan, cheaper than a personal loan.
Weekdays, SEC Network is your home for SEC football coverage.
We're live on the air. We want to see our show.
Recapping all of the action.
News, opinions, and analysis. Weekdays on SEC Network.
And this is an important step for all our employees.
Blah, 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 blah.
Certain you're a mule?
Yeah. Are you for imprint certain?
Oh boy.
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
The perfect snack box isn't one thing, it's everything. So customize your box. Sweet and salty your box. Double chocolate your box. Protein pack your box. Smoothie night perfect your box. Gummy bear overload your box. Think you ordered too much but you didn't your box. Your snacks, your rules. Endless options, zero compromises. However you snack, build your own incredible snack box at nuts.com and get 20% off plus free shipping.
SEC conference play is here. The time for forecasts is done. There's no use in trying to predict which way the season winds will blow because the SEC games are here. The front has arrived, and the time for football truth has blown in with it. Riding into Columbia, South Carolina on a sandstorm.
And they are still rocking right now. Thank you, Ryan McGee. What a day of football in the SEC, and it will be a thrilling night from here to the Bayou. Pavia crunched in the backfield. It's a loss of 5. Nick Barrett leads away.
Well, just nowhere to go with the football for Diego Pavia on that one. It sets up A third and long, and here comes Willie B, and here comes Dylan Stewart.
Of note, Barrett limped off the field. Training staff was trailing him on the sideline. They're down 14. Stewart inside move, gets doubled, still got to him, and he gets it away, incomplete. Would have been short of the marker anyway. Junior Sherrill, the intended receiver. Dylan Stewart is a game record.
Boy, watch these last two plays from Dylan Stewart. Just a game wrecker. Fighting through two guys there, and then when you leave him one-on-one, you try to chip with the back right here. Watch him coming from left to right. Back tries to get into play. Too late, gets in the face of Pavia.
We had a fantastic sit-down with Dylan yesterday, and I asked him, what's your thought when they bring a double team? Does that mean somebody else is going to be open on the other side? And while that may be the case, he just kind of looked at me and goes, no, I'm going to beat the double team.
And they've really thrown everything they can at him. Double teams, backs chipping. They tackled him on one play. And now Lenora Sellers, after the head-scratching mistake. See, we heard Clark Lee talk about the scheme. They brought a very unique pressure in the secondary. Sellers tried to check it down.
But you made it sound like it was very basic, just on the safety look.
Well, yes,
as
yeah.
unique as it was up front.
Right, and so I think if Sellers had his eyes in the right spots from the safeties, it would have thrown a touchdown to Jordan Dingle. A great chance to respond here with another drive.
Back-to-back punts for Vandy. This is the tight end, Brady Hunt. He had 4 catches for 45 against Virginia Tech. We got a little banged up at the end of that game.
Yeah, they weren't really sure if he was going to be able to go tonight. So big to have Brady Hunt out there. Great blocker in the core. Great out of the backfield as well. And this is what I like. Get Sellers in this offense back into the tempo.
Illegal substitution. Offense, 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Now they break the huddle. You're going to see Nick Harbor right here. He's going to try to run off late.
Well, that backs him up. On 2nd and 11. Draw play, Faison. Faison got his year back after Diego Pavia successfully sued the NCAA. Get guys who spent time at junior college an extra year. He was at Snow Junior College in 21 and 22. Before that, online courses at Lackawanna College during the COVID year, but didn't play football. He gray shirted at Marshall for a chunk of the 2019 season. He's been around. And then a couple of fantastic years as an Aggie at Utah State. Sellers stands tall and delivers to Nick Harbor. C.J. Hurd the stop. That's a gain of 17.
That's a really good job by Sellers. The pocket is closing in around him. Watch as the pressure comes right here, but he does a great job of stepping up in this pocket and not paying attention to the noise all around him, around his feet. Delivers a strike to Nick Harbor.
That was Nick Rinaldi last time, and this time Rinaldi gets home. The senior out of Dover, Mass. He was the defensive player of the week last week after destroying Virginia Tech with 2.5 tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
You can already tell the respect that this Vandy defense is given to Nick Harbor. You know the size, 6'5", 235 pounds, Olympic speed. He's a 10-1, 100-meter kind of guy. A lot of soft coverage from the corner. Safety shading over the top at times.
A bad snap. Sellers can't clean it up. He gets taken down at the 10 by Sidner. And a couple of huge negative plays turned in by this Vanderbilt defense.
Yeah, this is just a mistake by Boaz Stanley. This ball's not supposed to be snapped. I don't even think Sellers clapped. They're motioning Attaway, trying to get a look at the defense as he gets set. Every time they've had a big positive play, you had the penalty on the substitution. Big play to Harbor, bad snap. And now this offense just can't get out of its own way.
3rd and Larry Bird, 8:40 to play in the second quarter.
Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
Come on. You think his kids know who Larry Bird is?
Timeout.
A lot of times I use these lines just for a reaction from Cole. Because I know it fits in his window. Tied at 7.
I never thought this would happen.
When disaster takes control of your life, we got you. Get it back with a single call to the team that shows up fast to make things right. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Thursday Night Football on Prime.
It's on.
This week, an AFC East rivalry ignites as the Miami Dolphins battle the Buffalo Bills in a heated division showdown.
There he goes again. Can you believe this? Breaking tackles through the middle. James Cook.
Stream Thursday Night Football. Dolphins, Bills at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
Red 93, Red 93. Sports are awesome. They're hot, but there are times, like when the QB pressure turns into hundreds of pounds of pressure on my spleen, that I wonder, is Sport Clips better than sports?
Because sports plus a neck and shoulder treatment beats sports plus dog piles.
Oh, that feels good on my spleen.
That's not where your spleen is.
It is now. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
You know what would really amp up this barbecue? Sure do.
Let's heat it up!
Hot honey grillin' beans made with the sweet heat of Mike's Hot Honey.
Grillin' beans. Yep, that's what I was thinking.
This week, ESPN is celebrating the role of teachers and their dedication to supporting students' development. On behalf of the College Football Playoff Foundation and ESPN, we recognize your passion, commitment, and the work that goes into ensuring you students succeed. We donated a $1,000 Donors Choose gift card to Dr. Kimberly McKnight, 5th grade teacher at Joseph Keels Elementary, to use towards resources for her classroom and her students. Von Ball was the one that delivered it, and they were happy to see him. Oh, congratulations, Dr. Kimberly McKnight. Third and forever for Lenore Sellers in South Carolina after consecutive negative plays, including a bad snap. And they'll try to find some space on. They had some, and that'll give them some wiggle room for a punt. Mason Love on to punt it away. It's his first season after replacing Kai Kroger. Kroger now starring for the Saints, by the way. They got the 49ers this weekend. The 49ers brought in former Vandy punter Matthew Hayball just to allow Sky Moore to practice fielding punts from a lefty. No return. Let's get you to the studio. Here's Darian Oakley.
Tom, thank you much. It is time for our Yellowwood five-star play. We go to South Bend, Texas A&M down 17-7 to the Irish. Marcel Reed going to unload downfield. He finds KC Concepcion. Concepcion down to about the half-yard line. Le'Veon Moss will punch it in. They're down 3.
What a fantastic place for a football game if you've never been to South Bend, Indiana. It is awesome. Pavia is 6 for 9 to start this game. Pavia on the roll. Completes to the sideline. Richardson. What a journey it's been for Trey Richardson. Arya Gerson, who writes for the Tennessean, had a great article about everything he's been through, not only to get to Vanderbilt, but the help he's had from his mom, the custody battle he went through to bring his son along with him. There's a run for Pavia. Goodwine with the tackle. And a fresh set of downs for the Doors. Pavia over the middle, and just a hair behind trying to find Stowers. Your favorite receivers here tonight? Sometimes Diego Pavia looked at Stowers too often.
No doubt. Yeah, I got to see Jordan Matthews down on the field, one of the all-time SEC greats, and I was lucky enough to throw to him. But you're right. Stowers, Pavia, great connection. Stowers, one of the more talented tight ends in the entire country. Sometimes you want to force a throw, get him involved. They got a screen to him early, but that time probably should have checked the ball down or used his legs. Coverage really good. But there's not a window that Pavia doesn't feel he can fit it into either. So he's going to take those risks and try to make those throws.
Once again, they bleed the play clock, and Pavia takes a couple of shots as he brings it up the middle for nearly 5. And then ended up on his backside. South Carolina came out a ball of fire in this game in Nashville last year. And one of the reasons, according to the South Carolina staff, some of their players, the trash talk that they heard from the Vandy team in warm-up. Dylan Stewart telling us, we're quiet, but we will respond. Shuffle pass. And a break free and a first down catch and run.
That was really, really well played by South Carolina. Dylan Stewart did a great job of kind of slow playing this, and then linebackers and secondary players were right there. You just got to bring them down. Jamel Lassiter able to break the tackle. Vandy just picking up the third downs over and over. They've been one of the best in the country to start this year. 4th in the FBS coming into the game, picking up nearly 70% of their third downs.
They're 3 for 5 tonight. Pavia with the option keep, and now a late pitch, and with or without the football. Clark Lee saying it's good and bad with him.
It's a backwards pass out of bounds. The ball will be placed, but the ball went out of bounds. Second down.
When you watch him play, you see all the chances he takes. Yet, generally speaking, he takes good care of the football. They only turned it over 7 times last year.
Watch how he's holding the ball here. I mean, he's sticking it out. And there's guys trying to slap it away. Again, sometimes that ends up being a big play. Very easily, that could be a big play going the other way as well. Those are those plays you live and die with Diego Pavia.
And movement on the left side. By the way, both of these teams have a convincing win against Virginia Tech. South Carolina opened the season with that one at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
False start.
Vandy went to Blacksburg and got the win.
5-yard penalty, remains second down.
But Virginia Tech's trailing Old Dominion 28-0 at the half. The Hokies have been outscored at home over the last 4 quarters, 62-0.
That just shows you that I'm not sure we know a ton about Vandy or South Carolina to this moment.
Maybe we know too much about Virginia Tech.
Yes, definitely.
Pavia rolling to his left, completes it to midfield to Junior Sherrill.
South Carolina giving a lot of cushion on the outside, allowing those short throws. this time on third down, you have got to know where Diego Pavia is when he decides to tuck it and run. He doesn't get the ball out of his hands quickly here. Look for him to try to make a play with his legs.
That was Stowers with the motion. Pavia looking back across the middle of the field, dumps it off, and it's another catch and run. This is Trey Richardson. There's a flag in the backfield where Pavia was being chased.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 46. 15-yard penalty. He added to the end of the run. First down.
That's Brian Thomas who gets flagged.
Oh, this is really tough, right? Pavia's trying to extend it. No, Brian Thomas has got to try to at least hold up there a little bit. Probably can't avoid contact entirely. That's tough to stop 250 pounds running full speed when the quarterback's throwing back across his body. And again, more broken tackles helping Vandy pick up a first down on a third and long.
$104 receiving yards, 80 of them coming after the catch. Little reverse. This is Richie Hoskins, and the former lacrosse star has got a blocker in front of him. DQ Smith forces him out of bounds.
Hold on a second. Got a blocker.
Yep.
Who was the blocker?
The blocker was number 2, Diego Pavia. Watch Pavia put his shoulder down. DQ Smith, come on, get some, boy. I mean, hey, I realize he ended up on the ground, but still, it was a great block. I'm always going to fight for these quarterbacks. He did exactly what he was supposed to do there, put his shoulder down, allowed his guy to get about 5 or 6 more yards on that hole.
I might push back on the did exactly what he was supposed to do there. I don't know if the coaching staff wants that every time.
He led with his left shoulder, Cole. He was least smart.
10th play of the drive, first and goal. Swing out to Trey Richardson. And he picks up a few. Second and goal from about the 5 coming up.
This is where South Carolina is going to be tested, right? This defense was so elite last year, not just because Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart on the outside, but guys like TJ Sanders and Tonka Hemingway inside. They were so good up front. These areas were tough to run the football on them. You see Vanderbilt's getting on the perimeter a lot, respecting the interior defensive line for South Carolina, but they got a bow up here inside the 5.
Stowers tied in on the left side out of this pistol. Pavia gives it to Alexander, and he is smothered at the line of scrimmage and goes backwards. It leaves third and goal. It was Barrett, first man in there, along with Umazulu.
This is where you have to expect either a design quarterback run between the tackles, or Diego Pavia is going to get out on the perimeter to have an option to throw and run.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
When we return, Diego Pavia will be looking at a third and goal as Vanderbilt attempts its second lead of the game here in the first half in Columbia.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. Some fancy experts finished a network test, and T-Mobile sort of opened a can of whoop-up. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am." Seriously, where am I? Hey, I got signal.
This is where worry turns into relief. Where confusion turns into answers. This is where your family can turn to the experts for the big things and the little things. Extraordinary care is right here. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Please welcome Charles Woodson.
Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At Factor, it's personal. Everything is done from scratch every single day. Nutrition and flavor is first and foremost when we create any dish.
Sign up for Factor today and get 50% off your first box at factormeals.com.
SEC Network, your home for SEC football.
In the South, it's not just the story that you tell, it's how you tell it.
It's got to be authentic and real.
What do you see? How do you feel?
And who are the characters? They're your best players. You knew the stakes.
This was more than a game. This was history.
And having the storybook ending
is always special.
SEC legends, all in one place. Let me tell you a story.
Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt trying to punch it in, looking at a 3rd and goal. 12th play of the drive. To throw to the corner, touchdown, Junior Sherrill. And Vanderbilt has its 2nd lead of the game.
Oh, it's just a little whip route on the outside by Junior Sherrill, working on Brandon Cisse, the North Carolina State transfer. Just gonna sell the slant, put his foot in the ground, get outside. All you need in the red zone is one step. Great route. An answer from Vandy.
Taylor's point after is good. The 2 scoring drives were lengthy for Vanderbilt. One for 5:27, the other for 5:59. Feels like a boxing match for Diego Pavia. And he delivers another haymaker, 14-7 Doors.
There's tacos. Then there's Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Get them any way you want, in Chipotle Ranch, avocado bacon, or all new Buffalo Blue. Taco night hits different at Zaxby's. Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
After careful consideration, I've decided to take my sponsorship talent to the SEC. Nope. Sorry, this would have been a lot cooler if I could actually put this hat on my head.
Sanderson Farms, official chicken of the SEC.
All right, Tim, I got all your policies here.
Okay, nice. But what if...
Covered.
Nice. But what if...
All set?
But what if...
Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense.
Oh, nice.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
What if...
Good to go! Charleston is a city of many splendors. To get to know this old city in new ways, True South walks back alleys and strip mall suburbs, listening for different songs, searching for the tastes that define this place. True South presented by Yellowwood, Charleston, South Carolina, Tuesday on SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app.
You certain you can dry those pants?
Please.
You foreign prince certain?
Yeah.
Certain
certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and so much more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
Welcome in. Regions Big halftime report coming. Bad blood in Baton Rouge. It's turned into a heck of a game there. Georgia-Tennessee thriller. Offensive onslaught, you might notice it says Oxford because there is no D there. Trust me. How about these Commodores?
It's a lot of fun to watch, isn't it? Diego Pavia's improved his passing ability.
Back and forth, pretty even. You got a feeling whoever got the ball last is going to win this game.
See you in a couple.
I haven't seen any thrown shoes in Baton Rouge tonight.
The night is young, Tom.
Yeah.
Something weird always happens in that matchup.
The time for the fog to roll in. Carolina scored on his first possession, then a pick, then a punt. How can Lenore Sellers find a rhythm?
Well, they've been just hurting themselves, right, with penalties, especially on that last drive. They get a positive play, get backed up with a penalty. We haven't really seen a deep shot to Nick Harbor yet. We've seen a couple curl routes because Vandy's given a lot of respect at the line of scrimmage. At some point, you just want to let him run, throw it about 60 yards, and see if the big guy can make a play.
Harbor, middle receiver, top of the formation. There he goes, and they go the opposite way to Faison, who gets popped out of bounds. And Sellers got hit. And Sellers is down.
Timeout for an offensive player injury.
Langston Patterson threw Sellers to the ground. And immediately the athletic training staff coming out to check on him. Luke Doty is the #2 quarterback for Shane Beamer.
And that is not a good sign for Gamecock fans. The Heisman hopeful laying down, banged up. The hit itself didn't look terrible. Definitely got contacted up high. You see Luke Doty there, the Swiss Army knife athlete, as Sellers gets up. It's good to see. See Patterson come straight through on a blitz, and
The injured offensive player inside of 2 minutes does not constitute a 10-second runoff because the runner was ruled out of bounds. It'll be second down.
He's been reaching for the rib protecting pad that he has on underneath the shoulder pads. And Doty will now take over for South Carolina, looking at a 2nd and 8. And a whistle and stoppage. Immediately preceding the completion.
Prior to the snap, the previous play is under video review.
I almost said I wonder if they were going to look at that for targeting.
Shane
obviously.
Beamer is all over the officials. He is all over it. He went straight to the head linesman.
I would be irate as well, because that was a huge play in the making. Little glance route hit Harbor right in stride. He had green grass, and right now he's saying you mark the ball, you put it down. We're playing football. You should have made that decision before you marked the ball and blew the whistle for play. Obviously, the best you're getting out of a possible targeting is 15 yards. That play could have been much bigger. And here's what they're looking at. So there's two types of targeting, obviously with the crown of the helmet, but because Lenore Sellers is a defenseless player, a pocket passer is protected in the action of throwing the football. Any forcible contact to the head or neck area would be deemed targeting. They're obviously looking for an indicator there as well, either a thrust or...
After video review, there is targeting on the play. Defense number 10 The 15-yard penalty will be added on to the previous spot. It'll be first down. Number 10 is disqualified.
There is depth at the linebacker spot for Vanderbilt. Nick Rinaldi and Bryce Cohen, both reserves that play a lot of snaps. And that might make it a little bit easier on Shane Beamer because they pick up 15 yards. But you can understand his frustration. The replay booth had plenty of time to buzz down when the athletic training staff was on the field looking at the quarterback who had just been targeted.
Yeah, Nick Harbor had a lot of space, caught the ball about 10, 12 yards downfield. It could have been a huge play, but Luke Doty's played a lot of football. Was a quarterback as a freshman in 2020, started 2 games, was the projected starter in 21, but he was injured, then made 4 starts. He's primarily been a wide receiver the last couple years, so he is definitely a dual threat guy. But as you saw with that throw to Harbor, very capable of playing from the pocket as well.
Yeah, he started as a freshman, 7th true freshman to start at quarterback since South Carolina joined the SEC. Steve Tannehill did it back in '92. He's a legend in these parts. See if they got the ball spotted properly. Still the career leader in completions and touchdown passes. You mentioned Harbor, elite speed. We're not sure if he would have ever stopped running.
No, they were in a zone coverage, 2 safeties very high, and Harbor might still be running on that last play. But
Doty out of the backfield, phase on, scrambles out of bounds, clock stop 1:48.
And you have plenty of time here, 2 timeouts, 1:48. You want to have a little sense of urgency, but this is not a full-out tempo.
And with those timeouts in their pocket, they'll run it straight ahead. And that'll leave 3rd and about 2. Faison's helmet came off. He'll have to exit for a play. South Carolina stops the clock with a timeout. Is this targeting?
No, I don't think so.
Number 1, South Carolina's helmet came off during the play.
Okay.
A helmet coming off inside of 2 minutes constitutes a 10-second runoff. South Carolina has elected to not use a timeout. Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 30 seconds. And the clock will start on my whistle.
Well, they had a chance to use a timeout. I thought they were going to. They didn't.
No, that's the right move. Minute and a half on a 3rd down here. You definitely don't want to give the ball back to Vandy with more time on the clock. Oh, wow. What is happening here?
The flag on the far side and movement on South Carolina.
Well, South Carolina is actually going to get a lucky break here because that play was blown up in the backfield.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
And Shane Beamer just saying, let's calm it down, calm it down.
Yes.
It was Dingle, the tight end.
Yeah, a lot of the same principles you have
Vanderbilt
with Lenore Sellers.
Has declined a 10-second subtraction. There'll be a 5-yard penalty, and the clock will start on the snap.
We're going to get to football at some point.
I hope.
Luke Doty, a really talented runner. I like what they're doing here. Spread him out. If nobody's in the box here, you could see a quarterback run. Oh.
Timeout. Vanderbilt. It is their 2nd. It will be 30 seconds.
So this timeout taken by Vanderbilt gives Shane Beamer a chance for Carolina to collect its breath, and Mike Shula an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with the veteran Luke Doty. But obviously Vandy thinking we got a chance to get this ball back. Lenore Sellers still with the athletic training staff over on the South Carolina bench.
And remember, Vandy started the game with the ball, so South Carolina really good opportunity with this drive and getting the ball after half to change the complexion of this game. It looks like right now they're going to be doing that without Lenore Sellers as he continues to get looked at on the sideline.
90 seconds remaining in the half. Both teams scored on their opening possessions. Defensive mistakes have taken over since. Three-man rush. Doty leaves the pocket. And a stutter step move gets him some space. Then he throws in a spin for good measure.
He's got some athleticism. He's got some juice.
There's a new analytic called perceived speed. I think Luke Doty's probably off the charts with perceived speed.
I think that's a real PFF stat, actually.
Harbor at the top of the formation.
Now watch Harbor here.
They go underneath the phase-on again.
Jordan, that over route that Nick Harbor just ran right there was the one that Clark Lee continued to talk to me about pregame. Said he loves that route. It's obvious the way that he catches it. Said the Sellers loves to throw it to him. Usually when they get it, they're going to get it multiple times a game. So one that obviously Vanderbilt's been aware of.
Doty, graduate out of Myrtle Beach, hits the seam. That's Harbor, fights for the first down. Clock stops at 56. Harbor limping. And he's going to try to hop off the field. Be replaced by Vandravius Jacobs.
I mean, his gimpy jog's probably a 5'1".
It could be.
Really impressed with Doty right now. He's doing a great job of working through these quick game progressions, getting the ball out of his hands.
Doty looking at Jacobs. Now he'll scramble again. Another hezzy. Takes it to the 30. Ryan Longwell to stop. Timeout taken by the Gamecocks. 34 seconds.
Timeout, South Carolina. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Second and 7 coming out of this. Special teams coach is getting some chatting with Shane Beamer. Let's take it back to the injury to Lenore Sellers.
Yeah, just earlier on this drive, getting a hit up and around the helmet. Obviously, targeting was called on that play, and Luke Doty comes right in, makes an immediate impact. This one, blown dead as they reviewed the targeting. Would have been a massive play for Harbor, and that's why Beamer loses it. He's saying, we snapped the ball. You can't blow it dead. We had a 30, 40, maybe 50-yard play coming our way. They ended up getting the 15 yards on the targeting. And right now, it does not appear that Lenore Sellers is coming back in this football game.
No helmet. Second and 7. Joe DeCamillis is the special teams coach. He had a quick chat with Shane Beamer before that stoppage. And here's another stoppage.
False start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
The kicker is Max Joyce. His long is 49. It's a second procedural penalty on this drive for South Carolina.
Well, remember, we just saw Harbor run off. So right now you have two true freshman wide receivers out there, and Brian Rowe and Donovan Murph, and a redshirt sophomore and Vandrevius Jacobs. A lot of young faces out there with now the second string quarterback in.
Nine of 11 at the line. Doty, little late, and just a hair wide, trying to find Rowe. Leaves 3rd and 12, 31 ticks.
And Vandy has changed their coverage a little bit, right? With Lenoris out of the game, with Harbor out of the game, the safeties are coming a lot closer to the line of scrimmage. Their eyes are heavier in the backfield because of the couple runs we saw from Doty. I know it's 3rd and long
Please
here,
set the
but
play clock to 40 seconds.
You might have a chance to go over the top. Look at all these guys around the line of scrimmage. No safeties deep. Looks like man coverage, and
now they all drop. Doty down the middle, incomplete. Rowe was the intended receiver. Vanderbilt doing a good job disguising.
Yeah, really good job there because it looked like blitz 0, dropped out of it, still had a chance down the seam. Tight throw there to Rowe in coverage. I like the aggressiveness. You felt good about where you were for a longer field goal attempt with William Joyce.
Joyce held for a Mitch Jeter 50-yard field goal back in 22. It's as close as he's come in game action to this. It'll be a 53-yard attempt. And South Carolina has to use a timeout.
Timeout, South Carolina. It is their third. It will be 30 seconds.
And an offensive lineman, they one ready for the kick team. Well, Mason Love handling the kicking. He went 3 for 3 in the opener against Virginia Tech. And Joyce will trade positions with him, and he'll be the holder on this long attempt for Love. Sellers will hit the locker room early. 53-yard attempt. Never had it. Vanderbilt with a good defensive effort to keep South Carolina off the scoreboard on that drive. And Sellers, no helmet in hand, back to the locker room, and that was after he took a shot to the head on a targeting foul. And remember when he was walking off and he just kind of kept feeling his jersey where his rib padding was?
Yeah.
It was almost like he was just a little bit out of it.
Yeah. Not a good sign for South Carolina. Nick Harbor obviously went in the injury tent a few minutes ago. Saw him come out, but his status is in question. They will get the ball to start the second half, but a lot of questions to be answered for South Carolina, especially on offense when we come back.
Pavia trying to get something going late. Dumps it over the middle to Trey Richardson. And gain of 7.
If this doesn't show you the confidence Clark Lee has in his quarterback.
30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 14 seconds. Thank you.
You had one timeout in 20 seconds, and
sure, let's throw it.
Yeah. I love it. That's not usually what a defensive head coach does, but it just shows you how much he believes in Pavia, and we'll see if they try to throw it again.
I feel like I heard at least 20 different staff members on the field. Either I was talking to them or heard them talking to somebody else, Jordan, that used that word today, confidence.
Yeah.
And just, it's not just Diego Pavia, it's the entire team. They feel like he lifts them up, he gives them more of that. But
yeah,
this offensive line, sorry, it's on the defense, what they've added, it's all over this Vanderbilt team.
And they have confidence in the kicker, Connor Taylor. He banked through a 63-yarder in pregame warmups. Pardon me, Brock Taylor. Yeah, from the logo and behind. No rushers, nothing else happening there.
No helmet.
You can get to about the 45-yard line, pick up 12 yards or here. You could give yourself an opportunity for 62, 63-yarder if you want to give it a try. We'd have to get out of bounds.
Draw, Pavia. Now he wants to throw. A little pump fake will allow him to scramble.
Boy, if there was a pump fake success rate, Diego Pavia would lead the nation in that too.
Undefeated. I've said it before, but man, defenders will fall for a pump fake even when you're 3 or 4 yards downfield. They don't know. So now again with that range you just mentioned, Tom, no timeouts left. You have time if you could get a quick out around 5 or 6 yards, you know, maybe get a chance to dial up a field goal, but South Carolina is going to be playing the edges. You see there, not letting anything easy short to the sideline.
They'll drop 8 and incomplete. Stowers, the intended receiver.
Well, if Stowers would have actually turned over the opposite shoulder, they had space there to tiptoe out of bounds around the 43-yard line or so. Valiant effort there late for Pavia.
Pavia coming off, looking at a 2nd and 10. Lays Berlowitz on to try to heave one.
It's always happened to me, too. They brought in the bigger arm. Like, you can't throw it 65 yards. We're going to bring in the other guy. See if he can buy enough time to let his guys get down to the end zone and heave one down there.
Berlowitz evades the rush once, twice. It says, forget this. Let's go to the locker room. Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas are hell-bent on getting to him. 14-7, Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt with the lead at the half. Injuries, the story for South Carolina, including starting quarterback Lenore Sellers. Let's get you down to Cole Kublik with Shane Beamer.
Coach Beamer, there was a little bit of confusion there after Lenore Sellers left the game. The play stopped, but also the targeting. What was your conversation with the officials there?
I asked him as soon as it happened if it was looking at it for targeting, that for our quarterback to be laying on the ground like that, he probably got hit in the head. And then for whatever reason, it took him a while to buzz down. So I don't know what's going on in Birmingham or wherever they look at it, but I thought it was pretty obvious.
We saw Lenore Sellers go to the locker room a little bit early, no helmet on. Is there any update you have for him?
There's not. Right now, we don't know, so I'll go in here and find out for you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Now, Luke Doty may be the only answer for South Carolina in the second half. Both teams 2-0 and a hard-fought against a South Carolina team that finished the half without its starting quarterback, Lenore Sellers. Diego Pavia has been the star for Vandy throughout the last 2 seasons. He's looking to lead them to just their second-ranked win in the last 15 tries. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. I think, Jordan, the biggest question, if Lenore Sellers can't return to this game, we'll find out more in just a moment, and South Carolina goes down by more than they are now, do they turn it over to Cutter Woods? Do we see Aaron Nolan? Do they mix it up at quarterback?
I don't think so. I think this is Luke Doty's game. He's a guy that started 6 games. He's been in this program since 2020. He's a dual-threat athlete. I think the bigger question mark is Nick Harbor going to be back out there as well on the outside? Otherwise, it's going to be Doty and a bunch of young receivers if Sellers isn't back in this game.
Cole, what'd you learn?
Shane Beamer coming out, asked him about Lenore Sellers' health. He quickly just told me he's done, will not go the rest of this football game, Tom.
It occurred on a hit that resulted in a targeting foul. And with that, it's Luke Doty's game, at least for now. And indeed, Doty out there to start the second half. He's been seeing most, if not all, of his practice time in the quarterback room. He had played at wide receiver over the last couple of seasons after being thrust into a starting role as a true freshman 5 years ago. This is how the injury occurred with Lenore Sellers.
Yeah, it was Langston Patterson, a little hit up high, ended up being a targeting call. See helmet-to-helmet contact there, and Lenore's laid there, got up slowly, walked off under his own power, but done for this game, as Cole mentioned.
And that casts serious doubt on South Carolina's opportunities here tonight, and a slip and fall after the catch by Jordan Dingle. Harbor is back on the field. That's good to see for South Carolina.
Still haven't seen them try to take the top off with Harbor yet. They won't do it here on 3rd and 8. I don't think that's the right place to do it, but at some point you got to let him run downfield and threaten this defense vertically, because these safeties keep creeping lower and lower, especially with Doty and his running ability.
South Carolina has won 16 consecutive games against Vanderbilt. On 3rd down, they're going to end up just short. 4th and less than a yard. They're going to keep the offense on the field.
I kind of like this. Oh, no, they're going to change it up. They're going to send the punt. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
A little quarterback sneak. I mean, it's... If you went tempo there, if you could plan it, if you can go tempo QB sneak, that's really tough to stop without giving the defense any chance to sub or think about it. I realize the implications if you don't get it.
Well, they got plenty of fakes built in and a unique formation with everybody the right side. Shane Beamer always has fakes up his sleeve. They will kick it away. And a fair catch taken at the 25-yard line by Martell Height after a 41-yard punt. I think the question will be going forward, if this is a huge series for South Carolina's defense. If you fall behind 21-7 with your second-string quarterback, you're going to have to get really creative.
No doubt. And this is a game the defense needs to step up for South Carolina. Vandy had a touchdown drive of 9 plays, a touchdown drive of 12 plays. This is a South Carolina defense under Clayton White that has been able to take the ball away in bunches over the course of his tenure as a defensive coordinator. They might need one of those to get South Carolina back in this game.
Pavia has thrown for 2 touchdowns tonight. And they'll find some room over the right side. Cedric Alexander with a first down run. In fact, for Diego Pavia, it's his 4th straight game of multiple passing touchdowns going back to last season. That's tied for the longest streak by a Vandy quarterback in the last 10 seasons. You have to go all the way back to 2012 when some dude named Jordan Rogers had 6 straight.
That guy was a bum, though.
Bum. He got pulled into clock situations to get a bigger arm in. That's what I was told. So a fresh set of downs for Vandy after the Cedric Alexander run. And an opportunity to put a firm grasp on this game early in the 3rd quarter. A little misdirection. Here's Caleb Barnett, and he picks up a first down. Back-to-back runs of 10+ for Vandy.
Boy, I love this play design. Watch all the movement from this offensive line and tight end all going down this way. And then you're going to option just the end man on the line of scrimmage in space. Nobody left outside. Great job of misdirection dialed up there by Tim Beck.
Caleb Barnett, no offers out of high school, hardly recruited. Tim Beck and that previous New Mexico State staff had been recruiting that area prior, had some relationships with some coaches, were able to get him in. They love his speed.
And they love bringing more versatility to this offense. Tim telling us this week, our run game was just too vanilla last year. Here's Height again, the junior from Rome, Georgia.
And Tom, talking to Tim about it, Tim Beck, excuse me, before the game about it, he said he had a specific plan for Caleb Barnett and what he could add to the run game. You saw the jet sweep there. He said, I'm going to be honest with you, he's every bit of 5'8". I wouldn't give him an inch more. And he said, I don't even want to tell you how much he weighs because I'm not sure that it would even be 155.
Listed at 155. That means he's probably in the 140s. High 140s, though.
On 2nd and 5, they keep it on the ground. Here's Lassiter, and there he goes. Lassiter takes it to the painted end zone, a 44-yard sprint, and Vandy wastes no time extending the lead. They've got a deep running back room, and James L. Lassiter puts the finishing touches on a 4-play, 75-yard drive.
Shane Beamer and this South Carolina fan base in a little bit of shell shock right now, a little disbelief. Seeing their superstar quarterback go down in the first half. And now Vandy with yet another touchdown drive to extend this lead. And remember, this is a matchup that South Carolina has won 16 times in a row. This fan base is not used to seeing a deficit when Vandy comes to town or when they head to Nashville.
Brock Taylor on for the point after. It is good. It is a 21-7 lead for the Vanderbilt Commodores, who are 2-0 for the 4th straight season and looking to win their conference opener for the first time since 2011. James L. Lassiter takes it 44 and takes it to the house.
T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro.
Hold on. Is this big enough? We should have music, lights, banners. I mean, you gotta feel it. Get the most powerful iPhone ever on the best network. I sure dance.
Get fired up. At T-Mobile, get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us. Pre-order now on the best network.
I got rhythm. I got rhythm.
No more coffee for Zoe.
Touchdown! Will they settle for overtime or try to beat their rival now with a 2-point attempt?
Go for it. They gotta go for those. Go for those. Go for those. Go for those.
Last season, he was questioned legend for settling.
Coach, why didn't you go for 2?
We're going for 2. Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos. They got it. The risk pays off. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
$7 for coffee? Nah. How about Sonic's salted caramel toffee iced coffee with cold foam for only $2.99? It's the fancy without the pricey.
To be great.
It, the believers, sides and scenes that make it all even better.
It's a gator, man. He's scaring me.
Here, this place, this moment.
Listen up, people.
And here, the home of the SEC, SEC Network.
Let's take a look at Fansville, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that's a nice blind applause.
You know, back to an earlier time when these Gamecock fans were fired up and hopeful, and
now a level of concern.
Now a little.
And I mentioned earlier,
not with that guy.
No, he's
still partying.
He has 0 cares in his 7 of their next 10 games are against top 25 opponents. Great crowd, busy around town, Cole. Hard to find a place for lunch yesterday with Parents Weekend, Family Weekend here in South Carolina.
It was packed. Our normal spots a little bit too crowded to hit. So where'd we go? Salty Nut Cafe?
Yeah, and I'm still wondering why they have kids booster seats in Salty Nut Cafe.
Sometimes people take a baby to a bar.
What was the menu like there? What'd you guys get?
It's not gourmet market. Let me just say that.
Chicken ranch bacon wrap.
Yep.
Hey, put ranch on it. It's all good.
Tom asked the waitress right out of the gate, do the chili cheese fries come with chili? And I knew we were in for a rough go.
Oh, boy. Luke Doty has taken over a quarterback, now facing pressure. And his passing game, either by design or where his eyes are going, has led primarily to the running backs.
Yeah, they're trying to get the screen game going, trying to get him comfortable with the quick game earlier. But since that opening drive where they went right down the field, it's been tough sledding. And really, remember, the interception in the red zone really changed this game.
Yep.
Yeah, drive number 2. They had a touchdown. Sellers obviously went for the short option, the interception. And since then, this offense hasn't got back on track.
2nd and 15. And looking for some room to the outside. Well, the good news is I found out that if you want to go back and get that same chicken wrap, you can do that at, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go check out the aquarium and
make a night of it, huh?
Absolutely. There are a couple other things on that menu I wanted, so we may make that happen. Including chili cheese tots with chili.
Oh, I think it's too early in the season to go with chili. But I will take the pimento cheese. Wide open. It's Donovan Murph, the freshman from Irmo, gain of 24.
Oh, it's a great job by Luke Doty attacking cover 2. You're going to get a little bit of corner route right here. Corner route, so your eyes have got to go to the field corner. If he stays low and the safety stays inside up the hash, you got that to the sideline all day, every day. That's the kind of throw that a quarterback that hasn't really played in a while, that can get your confidence going. That can get you back on track.
Doty looking to run the option and gets taken down by Randon Fontenette.
Here's the tough part for South Carolina. Normally, when you got a quarterback like Lenore Sellers or Luke Doty that comes in, boy, you really got to start to worry about the options and the extended play. They face Diego Pavia every day. I mean, it's nothing new, right? I mean, so they're very used to the option game, quarterbacks that have a proficiency to create and run the football. I think Doty's going to have to do this with his arm if he's going to get this South Carolina squad back in this game.
Brian Rowe now in the slot. Doty fires it into him. And that'll set up 3rd and nearly 6. They got a lot of confidence in what Rowe brings to the table. Freshman just had a shot at Charlotte, Concord, North Carolina, at a J.M. Robinson High School. He was a 4-star recruit. Great basketball player in high school. Pressure up the middle. Doty leaves the pocket. Turns upfield and maybe. And he's short. Short by half a yard. A Vandy player goes down. It's Linus Zunk.
For a defensive player injury.
New rule in college football: if a defensive player is injured after the ball is spotted, you'll be forced to take a timeout. If you go down before the ball is spotted, then no timeout is forced. Looking at his left leg of Zunk, the senior from Berlin, Germany.
All right, Tim, I got all your policies here.
Okay, nice. But what if...
Covered.
Nice. But what if...
All set.
But what if...
Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense.
Oh, nice.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
What if...
Now We're Cooking is presented by Farm Rich.
Meet the Ryans. A happy family on the outside, but from inside the pantry, it's a sad snacking reality.
What's wrong with rice cakes?
Most would argue it's not a snack, like your kids. Bring out the Farm Rich!
They wouldn't say that.
We want real cheese.
Jim Jr.?
Yeah! Ooh, cheesy.
Let's get these guys some snacks! Come on!
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Blue Chew is my new go-to. This stuff right here, has changed my life. This is something that you definitely want to add into your inventory. But just be ready. One thing you're not gonna do is regret getting it.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G home internet. 8:09 remaining in the third quarter. South Carolina playing without its starting quarterback and last year's SEC Freshman of the Year, Lenora Sellers. Redshirt sophomore out of Florence, South Carolina, left the game suffering a head injury late in the second quarter on a targeting foul. They're going to go for it on 4th and short. And Vandy is ready. What a stop by the Vanderbilt defense. The backfield was full of white shirts.
Great penetration in nearly every gap up there. Clark Lee loving what he's seeing from this defense. You know, obviously the injury kind of took away the momentum for South Carolina to line up and just go for it. Anytime you got to overthink it, you get your quarterback in the gun. I hate that on 4th and a few inches. I'd love that quarterback under center. But you got Luke Doty, who hasn't played a ton of meaningful snaps at quarterback, probably hasn't taken a lot of under center snaps, so maybe that's a reason you go into the gun. But Vandy just too good in the A gaps there and blew that up.
So Pavia back to work. He's 13 of 18 for 122 and 2 touchdowns tonight. And the run game has been sensational for Vanderbilt. That's Alexander straight ahead. Cedric Alexander's averaging better than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, you were wondering if the success they had early in the season was going to translate, because the last couple years this run game's had a tough time in conference against SEC opponents of having the same effectiveness, the same yards before contact. But obviously this run game looking quite different this year under Tim Beck. He mentioned how vanilla he felt they were last year, throwing everything at South Carolina right now and having success.
Alexander. Jalen Kilgore in on the stop for South Carolina. It feels like South Carolina is going to need Beamer ball to get back in this game, one way or another.
Beamer ball, turnover.
Gabriel Brownlow, Dindy, and some beef up front for South Carolina in this 3rd and 2. And they're going I formation. We got a fullback in the game. Pavia play action. Going deep. Got space and overthrow Trey Richardson. Miles Norwood was trailing.
I love the play call. Remember, Judge Collier, the starting corner, is out for South Carolina. So Miles Norwood there in coverage on Trey Richardson. The transfer speedster from D2 Washburn. You go double tight end, you go I formation. Everybody in the stadium's thinking short run, and you throw it deep. And here on 4th down, let's see what they come out with. Double tight ends down on the right.
That includes Gabe Fisher attached. Might be trying to get it. Nope, they take the snap. Pavia with a rollout. And a dump off for the first down to Cedric Alexander.
Tough there for any linebacker in 4th and really short. You have to play the run first. That's why those throws end up being so easy when you get outside the pocket. Watch Fred Johnson right now. He's got to play the run first and then react to the running back. So he's just going to be late getting out there to the flats. Put those linebackers in a bind on 4th and short. You saw Clayton White there on the sideline looking frustrated. This defense hasn't been able to come up with the stops when they've needed it most.
And Tim Beck will just bleed this clock even in the 3rd quarter. Martell Height. Martell Height has seen action at defensive back and wide receiver. When you think back to the history of this game, of course, we just had a two-way guy win the Heisman and Travis Hunter. And Cole, there's a guy in this league, Champ Bailey, who's in the Hall of Fame. That dude's pretty special, too.
I'll tell you, playing against him my freshman year at Auburn, I think he played 88 snaps in that game, and our offensive line coach, Rick Trickett, got into us the next day because I guess we looked a little bit gassed on the film, and he said, Champ Bailey played 86 plays. You're too soft to even play 65.
The only thing I don't like about that impression is not enough people know how Rick Trickett sounded.
That's real nuance.
Doesn't matter.
That's a deep cut.
The best part, we were like, Coach, Champ Bailey's 190. We got a bunch of 320s and 330s out there. You're soft.
Maybe you should have run you all after the game like Fran Brown did last week. They're down 1.
Now let's see if South Carolina
misdirection or they go straight ahead for Vandy.
I think they've had so much success on the perimeters. I think you just stick to it. On an offset gun here.
Diego Pavia has the entire playbook at his disposal, and he calls his own number. Flags flying in from north and south. And this will back Vandy up. Clark Lee has Diego Pavia at quarterback, and he told us.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both of them against the offense. Holding, offense, number 55. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, blindside block. Offense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
And that's on Martell Height, which will cost him and set up 3rd and extra long.
Martell Height, he's like, man, I can do that on defense. I can hit people however I want. You see him come in from the left part of your screen there, just getting too much of DQ Smith from the side. This is where South Carolina has to have a stop. Down 2 scores. Late in the 3rd quarter here. That's got to be your bailout moment.
How aggressive will Diego Pavia be trying to make a play? They led the nation in turnovers last year. Vandy only coughed it up 7 times. He only threw 4 picks all season. And movement, and this will back them up even farther.
Full start. Offense, number 0. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Or the frustration from Clark Lee. They had a first down picked up on the Diego Pavia run. The momentum driving. Now they're back on the opposite side of the 50.
Third and Orangeburg from here.
And Williams-Brice starting to come back alive.
Four-man rush. Pavia fires over the middle, complete. It's Eli Stowers and a Vanderbilt first down. There is a flag in the backfield where Pavia got crunched again. And I believe it was Dylan Stewart.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down. Correction, it'll be half the distance to the goal.
Just a mental mistake from Dylan Stewart. The frustration, hasn't been able to really get after Diego Pavia the way he's used to. Just gives a little shoulder at the end there. I don't know if that's roughing, and I know I'm a quarterback, I'm biased. I'm a Vandy quarterback, but not a ton of big contact, kind of bumps him, but the throw from Diego Pavia was fabulous. DQ Smith had eyes. Excuse me, Jalen Kilgore actually had eyes back on Pavia. He lost sight of Eli Stowers, so Stowers cut to the middle of the field. Kilgore kept going down the field and left that wide open.
24 yards, the difference.
And a backbreaker. And you had Vandy on the opposite side of the 50, third and forever, and you give that up. A penalty is insult to injury, and now Vandy knocking on the door trying to extend this lead.
Cedric Alexander with a hesitation. Vanderbilt has been a fantastic second half team. That's how they put Virginia Tech away. And with the way Vanderbilt uses the clock, possessions are going to be severely limited for South Carolina going forward.
Yeah, not even sure. If Vandy scores here, not even sure South Carolina will get the ball back 3 times.
Yeah.
They'll be down 3 scores. So
once again, that's where defense or special teams would have to come up with something sensational for South Carolina. Pavia keeps it, and Stewart hugs him and takes him down. Isaiah Glass ended up on top of his quarterback, on top of Stewart.
And a frustrating day for Stewart, and I asked Clayton White about this. Do you feel like you had to talk to him a little bit more? It's not going to be a game where you can just pin his ears back and rush after a quarterback that's going to be in the pocket. You have the options, you have the rollouts. A game where he knew he was going to have to play the run, be physical. You saw the frustration come out. Hitting Pavia a little bit late. And again, another opportunity for South Carolina.
10th play of the drive. They've already burned more than 6.5 minutes. Pavia looking end zone, pulls it back, flag down, probably holding. Sidearm, crosses body, picked off. South Carolina with the takeaway. Justin Okoronkwo and a flag at the end of the return. And South Carolina's defense arrives just in the nick of time.
The result of the play is an interception. Holding, offense, number 72. The penalty is declined. First down, South Carolina.
We talked about those plays. The highs are high, the lows are lows, and when South Carolina needed a play to get back in this game, Diego Pavia gifted them. And South Carolina alive again.
SEC Network, your home for SEC football.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches to choose from. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two with fries and a drink, just $6.99.
The primary lesson I learned from all my years of football was about teamwork. That is something that's really been important to me.
It brings people together. For those of us who chose to play, it's community right there.
Football's given me a platform. Football's allowed me to compete at a high level. I think it gives you a great escape to go out there and compete and just to do what you love.
Football teaches you how to deal with pressure, but the most important thing that football teaches you is how to get up once you get knocked down.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. Lucky for you, Shopify built with just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. Businesses that want to win, win with Shopify.
If you're saying too much, baby, go find less.
This conference right now is really strong.
If you can't keep up, stay below, I guess. It's too much.
Such a fun point.
Getting kills from all over.
Some of the best volleyball in the country in the SEC.
SEC Network, your home for SEC volleyball.
Finding a pair of jeans that looks good and feels comfortable is such a hassle. Most clothes use just 1 or 2 measurements. M-Tailor uses 7 or more measurements for the perfect fit. Our tech measures you 20% better than a tailor. We created the InvisiStretch waistband to preserve the classic jeans look while invisibly stretching for comfort. Get custom jeans for just $79 with free shipping and free returns. Download the M-Tailor app or visit mtailor.com.
You know what our kids don't want? Our spoon collection. Or my holiday decorations.
We spend a lifetime collecting things we love, but the best thing we can leave behind? Peace of mind. If you thought you couldn't afford life insurance, you can with Physicians Life Insurance Company. Getting coverage is simple. No health questions, no medical exams, and up to $30,000 in coverage for life. For all the details, call now or visit physicianslife.com for your free info kit.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Orinoco in studio, LSU Florida Gators down 13-10 with the football at midfield. DJ Lagway fires and he's picked off for the second time by Deshaun Spears, but this time he takes it to the house. 2010 Tigers. Guys, Notre Dame also just took the lead on A&M in the third.
All right, Dari, thanks. In South Carolina with an opportunity. Luke Doty running the option. Picks up a yard and a half. Celebrities in the house. Theo Vaughn was at Asheville's stadium for the win against #1 Alabama last year. That's the lone win against a ranked opponent for Vandy in its last 21 tries. But there was a shot of Cole Santa right next to Theo, and I was going to say 2 of the great podcasters in American people. Yep. Yeah, there they are.
Together getting millions of views every week.
Yes. I don't even want to know what he told me about Diego Pavia's mom either. Like I'm just,
what?
That's not a bad. No, it's not like that. It's not bad at all.
Well, let's hear it.
Tell us.
The way that I understand this story is that maybe just give me a nod if this is okay. Diego Pavia wins this game. He promised you he would set you up with a date with his mom.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
He's a nurse, and I've always wanted to. My goal is I would like to marry a nurse one day, so that's why I think
smart.
He was thinking about that, but I don't even know if I would do it. I don't know.
That's
I like being his friend. I don't want to end up being like his stepdad or something, you know. That
would be weird. I got it.
That is being a friend, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And we have run out of time in the third quarter. The podcast will have to continue later this week. Nicole, you should have him as a guest. 21-7, Vandy.
Not capable of certain things in the run game. How do you find a way to push the ball down the field?
We just got to execute. I mean, we 4th and 1, and we try and run this old school power play, and we let our linebacker run through the A gap. I mean, just everybody's got a Luke's fully capable. We got good running backs, we got good receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen. Everybody's just got to settle down and do their job. But understanding against these guys, we ain't got many possessions left, so we got to freaking go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, the clock will be the sternest test for South Carolina. Back to the run game, and Faison, he's able to pick up nearly 13 on first down. Vanderbilt put together a couple of long drives in the third quarter. One led to a touchdown, the other an interception. They've dominated time of possession tonight.
Boy, still have not seen that just deep shot to Nick Harbor. You got the fastest man in college football. It's 6'5". At some point, you just got to give him a shot to run under one.
Top of the formation, just outside the hash marks. And now Rowe joins him over there. Doty hands it off again. And a bounce and a lean. And Faison gets forward for a few more. Back, that's a gain of 5.
Faison starting to get going in the run game, but
they went to Harbor early. 4 catches for 66.
Yeah, we saw it in the Virginia Tech game, right? The deep post over the top was kind of the dagger in that game. He's got the ability to change a game in one play. Right now, still trying to manage Luke Doty in this game.
No flag. Brian Longwell was draped on Jordan Dingle, Kentucky transfer. That leaves 3rd down 7.
Again, got to think this is the possibility of 4-down territory. So if you can pick up 5 here at worst, give yourself a chance to go for it on 4th, but got to be a sense of urgency.
Doty picks up a block and then gets shoved down at the 49.
Yeah, they're going to go for this here on 4th down. Picked up just enough to make it
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 yards. I like going tempo here.
That stop last time. Doty dumps it off low, got pressure in his face. And a turnover on downs as C.J. Hurd came crashing in on the quarterback. And that pose says it all for Shane Beamer in South Carolina tonight. C.J. Hurd making a play for Vanderbilt, and the Commodores will have the ball when we return.
GSSI profile complete.
How much sweat are you willing to lose? Because when you do that, you can surpass the hype. You can inspire generation after generation. You can compete against anything. So how much are you willing to lose? That's how you know. Hey now, say now. How much you willing to win? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Frank, this stadium control room is so awesome.
Want to see something really cool?
Yes, I do. Whoa, it's beautiful. Look, goosebumps.
I didn't think that was possible for a chicken.
Why not?
Because you're not a goose?
Are you a goose, Frank?
No.
Can you get goosebumps?
Yes.
And that makes sense. How?
I see your point.
Yeah. Sanderson Farms, official chicken of the SEC.
The Loaded Italian has classic flavors with an Arby's flair. It's more American Italian than Italian, just like the Pope. And people line up to see him. Arby's, we have the meats.
To buy or not to buy? That is their question. And nobody knows shoppers better than Shopify. The undisputed, undefeated checkout champion of the world. Businesses that want to win with Shopify.
I'm Jesse's uncertainty, and I really thought house projects were my time to shine. One little, are you sure? He gets stuck before he even got started. But Jesse's changed. Because of Thumbtack. With their guides, he knows exactly what to do and who to hire. And his house is looking great. Where does that leave me?
Uncertainty doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
I don't have time to shop, so I buy all my clothes where I buy my seafood.
Stitch Fix makes shopping easy. Just show your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door.
Man, that was easy.
Stitch Fix, online personal styling for everyone.
21-7 Vanderbilt here at Williams-Brice Stadium. We read and react with Roman Harper every Monday night on the SEC Network. Take you a little bit inside what we like about this Vanderbilt offense, the physicality of the offensive line. Watch the center position right here. Work this double team and just get movement at the point of attack, head across, the finish, dump. That'll get you an invitation to the block party to open up that touchdown run for Lassiter. The physicality, the push, just the overall grit of this Vanderbilt offensive line, very different from a year ago, Tom.
You know what's different is those two guys behind the monitor that seem to be enjoying themselves. Were they a distraction to you?
Surely you're not talking about Kenny Powers right there in the 23 jersey.
I think one or both of those guys should get an invite to whatever party you're throwing, block or otherwise.
I think they've already been there.
2nd and 5 for Vandy, which gets Georgia State at home next week, and that includes quarterback TJ Finley. How many schools has Finley been at?
I'm going to go 7.
I don't have the answer. I should figure that one out.
Former Auburn quarterback. And
the fact that he got there on a Monday after a game and then started the next week is pretty impressive, I will say.
Huge hole on the right side for McKalen Young, junior out of Midland, Texas. And a career high 95 yards against the Hokies last week in Blacksburg. And if, by the way, if Vandy can finish this thing off, this will be the 2nd straight raucous crowd and big stadium that they've emptied on consecutive weeks. What was awesome last week in Blacksburg at Lane Stadium turned into Vandy singing to its fans in the upper deck.
It's a different team. It's built different. They're built so well up front. They can lean on teams. Haven't seen them be able to just lean on big physical SEC opponents and make them want to quit. That's what they're doing right now.
Delivered to junior Sherrill. And talking with Tim Beck this week about adding new wrinkles to this offense, having game breakers who can get downfield. He said, well, yes, and that's great, but we are a run-to-win team. We want to trade paint first, and with our offensive linemen, just be physical. Clark Lee-Cole talked about that. Just get out there and be physical first. We can refine the mechanics later.
It's not coaching clinic tape, Tom. You're not going to put this on and show beautiful footwork, hand placement, hat placement every time, but goodness, they like to get off the football and trade paint.
Had a great conversation with their center, Jordan White. He's a DeMatha man who started his college career at West Virginia and then moved on to Liberty. He's kind of paved the way for Pavia.
And one of the reasons that's been working so well, Tom, Chase Mitchell, his right guard, was his teammate at Liberty. So they already had that communication. And actually, Clark Lee, Barton Simmons telling me that Chase, a big part of recruiting Jordan in, that they kind of got the go-ahead, got the green light, got the thumbs up, said, yeah, this is the kind of guy that we need, the kind of guy that we want. So Vanderbilt utilizing their own players to help recruit and get the final word, final say on players they're going after in the portal.
And Mitchell's sporting that Burlsworth look. And Jordan White told me the first time I saw him, I said, man, you play with glasses? I said, no, these are goggles.
Hey, Burlsworth's a compliment.
Indeed. Pavia folded over. I don't think Diego Pavia will ever leave a game with a clean jersey. He could get grass stains on turf and leaves 4th down.
That was the stop South Carolina needed.
That is game worn.
This right here, a massive field goal, though. Vandy with the ability to stretch this to a 3-score game.
51-yard attempt for Brock Taylor.
Would nearly put it out of reach.
He is 6th in the country with 13 consecutive makes. And from deep, he's got it. 17 straight makes from Brock Taylor. Vandy held to a field goal, but the Doors extend their lead. 24-7 for the fellas from Nashville.
What you doing, Zach?
My T-Mobile home internet is so good. I wish I could tell the whole world.
Zach, go right ahead.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
It's just $35 a month, guaranteed for 5 years. 5 years.
I'm switching!
Whoa, that's 2! T-Mobile's got home internet, just $35 a month, and it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You gotta swivel those hips, right? And you gotta swing. Or! And if you don't have the right insurance, you can be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. Lucky for you, Shopify built with just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. Businesses that want to win, win with Shopify.
Your credit score is only part of your financial picture. Count on Intuit Credit Karma to scan the factors credit card companies use and to show you approval odds, so you know where you stand today. Download the app to get started.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
The people I see, they just need a little help.
Workout wear is my only wear.
The solution is easy. Stitch Fix. Just take a quick quiz to show your size, style, and budget, and your stylist will send personalized looks right to your door. Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone.
Time now for Coverage Where It Counts, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
This is where the game really changed. South Carolina on their second drive after scoring on their first in the red zone, the interception mistake, and then it was all Vanderbilt, the touchdown answer from Diego Pavia to Junior Sherrill. And it was Lassiter with the long run to break this game wide open, and South Carolina after the injury to Lenora Sellers just not able to get things going on offense, and it's been all Vanderbilt.
Like trying to find a side road to get around a train in this town.
Not just book smart at Vandy, and I can say that because I went there.
Oh yeah.
Not all just good at words with friends and studying. You know, they play some football these days.
Carolina's going to bring it out. And plenty of room, and then a trip up of Nick Harbor, who gets stopped at the 45, showing that straight line speed.
Boy, and finally making a big impact in this game. We saw a few short receptions early in this game for Nick Harbor. He's been silent most of the second half.
Hey, can I throw you guys a couple numbers on Nick Harbor real quick?
Please. Yeah, come on.
23.8 miles per hour. That's the fastest GPS number I've ever heard since we've been doing that. Also a 4.39 when Carolina had their mock combating over the summer at 244 pounds.
Flying.
Two-time All-America on the track. And just shy of the marker is Donovan Murphy. Oh, they're going to spot it as a first down. And Luke Doty's kind of got to move
on the field is a catch.
Not just a catch, but a first down. Chain is a little late to move, and they get the snap off. Doty rolling to his left, and he scrambles out of bounds. How often is a running quarterback, how often is a runner, let me phrase it that way, did you look at the sticks when you're headed towards the sideline?
Almost every time. Especially when you got enough green grass there, because you're already kind of calculating. I don't want to take a hit. I want to get out of bounds at some point. It's really easy to pick up that bright orange marker and try to figure out just how much you need to pick up.
Yeah, so what was interesting is they hadn't moved the sticks on that last
so you
run.
didn't know.
So you didn't know. It seems like an obvious landmark that wasn't available to him. It was a first down run regardless, and then the incomplete pass. Second down 10. Keep in mind, we talked about limited possessions for South Carolina. If they can score here, Shane Beamer has oodles of confidence in their special teams play, and you just wonder if they might try an onside earlier than you would expect. That's a big if they can score, because Brian Rowe just got thrown down for a loss. Brandon Fontenette with the stop for Vandy.
Great job by Fontenette, the former 4-star. Remember, he's the guy that had that interception on Jalen Milroe in the upset last year against Alabama. Boy, when you look ahead at this schedule for Vandy, if they hold on this one, you might be circling that Alabama game in a couple weeks.
They bring the house. Doty can't escape. The ball is loose. And the Commodores scoop it up. Miles Capers from just down the road in Sumter has a takeaway for Vandy with 8:05 left. Bryce Cohen forced it out. And Capers, who said, I am not a South Carolina fan, never have been. But his Pee-wee coach is here, his family is here, and they see Capers come up with a monster play.
Yeah, look, Doty, the play breaks down. Doty just trying to make something happen. Cowan all over him, and look at Clark Lee. Remember last year, Clark Lee took back over control of this defense, made himself the play caller, kind of pushed all the chips into the middle and said, I'm going to fix this defense. Did that. They improved greatly from 23 to 24. Handed the reins over to Steve Gregory this year to call the plays, to get back in the CEO head coach role. But this team in general, not just the defense, not just the offense, not just the line of scrimmage, and they look different this year.
We got flags and a little pushing and shoving. Diego Pavia was not made available to us to visit this week as is normal protocol with
unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 6. 15-yard
penalty. But he wasn't shy.
Be added to the dead ball spot. First down.
When he said national championship is the standard.
Yeah.
That's the goal for this team this year.
And look,
how crazy a comment is that?
I mean, it's crazy, but you got to love it if you're a Vanderbilt fan. If you're in that locker room, you want somebody to have the utmost confidence.
For his unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is ejected.
It's a second on Dylan Stewart.
Yeah. That's the frustrations just bleeding through for Dylan Stewart. The elite pass rusher hasn't had the opportunities. You see the top of the screen here. Locked up with right tackle Bryce Henderson. They've been going at it all game long, and a frustrating night for Dylan Stewart. Losing composure there at the end.
Midway through the fourth quarter. Alexander straight ahead.
Hey, Tom, I wanted to go back quickly what you were referencing with just some of these Vanderbilt players on defense that have been here. A little bit of a homecoming for Miles Capers.
Timeout for a defensive player injury.
Clark Lee told me before the game, he said, you know, for guys like he and Marlon Sewell that have been here through all of this, we're here when we got here, have stuck it out, been through so much, coaching changes, coordinator changes, said they never wavered. He said those are two guys that I lean on constantly. Knew this homecoming was going to be big for him, but also just having those two guys as a part of his leadership team to lead this team and for him to go to that have been through all this, pretty cool to see.
Well, and the thing about Capers, who was a great visit this week when we were preparing for this game, is he confirmed what Clark Lee had laid out to us before the Bama game last year. Here's Hoskins inside the 5, which is the tenor and the tone of this program all changed going into last season. Clark Lee decided we're not going to waste time doing anything but chasing wins. Every penny, every minute goes towards winning. And that might sound really basic. You may take that for granted, but Clark Lee is a high-minded individual. He's a double door. He's got 2 degrees from this institution. He wanted to raise men and husbands and fathers and leaders. And sometimes that took away from the focus on winning. Straight ahead, Alexander.
And not just, I mean, you never lose sight of winning, but what you mean there is not doing everything possible, whether that's accumulating talent in the transfer portal, right? Accumulating talent on the coaching staff, going and getting guys like Jerry Kill and Tim Beck and Diego Pavia. Every time we met with Clark, it was a dissertation on how to develop guys and talent, recruit high school athletes, and get them to be 4- and 5-year players at Vanderbilt. And then, heck, that's not working. Let's go get guys and let's figure out how to win tomorrow.
Yeah, Kazena's starting running back goes to Kentucky and ends up playing for Mark Stoops after all of this time they put into developing him. Alexander to the goal line and in. And Vanderbilt's going to stun another road crowd. They're going to ride back to the West End with another win under their belt and a 3-0 record. To the point we're just talking to put a bow on that story. There'll be a personal foul penalty on the celebration. They used to start their team meetings.
Touchdown. After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 44, taunting. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
They used to start their team meetings with big picture leadership examples and
that
lessons.
Is number 44's first.
And Clark told us last year, he said, now we start our meetings with the game plan to win on Saturday. So Taylor on for another point after. I'm not shocked that Vanderbilt's going to leave here with a win. I am shocked the point differential.
Yes. Even with Lenore Sellers going down, you thought this defense was going to still be good to elite for South Carolina, and that just hasn't been the case tonight.
A lot of folks headed to the salty nut right now. Cedric Alexander headed to the end zone again and getting a ride all the way back to Music City.
SEC Network, your home for SEC football.
You know what our kids don't want? Our spoon collection. Or my holiday decorations.
We spend a lifetime collecting things we love, but the best thing we can leave behind? Peace of mind. If you thought you couldn't afford life insurance, you can with Physicians Life Insurance Company. Plans start as low as $570 a month. Getting coverage is simple. No health questions, no medical exams, and up to $30,000 in coverage for life. For all the details, call now or visit physicianslife.com for your free info kit.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Look, if you're an executive, this shirt is a must-have in your closet. I was tired of floppy collars and shirts with sweat stains, so I got this shirt I saw on TV, and now I don't have to worry. I got it shipped in no time, and I switched from regular polos to this immediately. The brand is called Collars & Co. They make a regular stretchy golf shirt, but the top has a firm collar on it. I got rid of so many problems by upgrading to this. No dry cleaning needed anymore. I'm free from uncomfortable long sleeves, and the collars stay stiff all day. Get 20% off today using code TV at collarsandco.com.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by Home Internet. If you didn't know T-Mobile has home internet, you do now.
That has been the story of the night for Shane Beamer. Starting quarterback Lenore Sellers knocked out of this game late second quarter, and they never recovered. They also lost their star defensive end Dylan Stewart due to an unsportsmanlike penalty. Here's how it occurred.
Number 88. By rule, the ball be placed at the 50-yard line.
The frustrations of the game, the results bubbling over for Dylan Stewart as you see. Watch him right there exchanging words and a slap to the face of Diego Pavia.
Won't be needing that. Doty finds a hole in the zone, and that's the freshman, the sophomore Vandravius Jacobs, who picks up the first down. Clark Lee, and we talked about this with Shane Beamer, paid a big compliment to Shane Beamer after last year's game, which was we thought we had it rolling. we thought we were similar teams and similar programs in terms of how physical we are. They came into our house. They delivered the blow. They put the fight to us. And the ball is loose, and it's another Vanderbilt takeaway. Jordan Matthews finds the loose ball. It is the third turnover of the night for South Carolina. And Vanderbilt has been the better team and the more physical team in just about every category tonight.
Yeah, I think we're learning a lot about South Carolina as well. Obviously, the preseason ranking, a lot on how they finished last year. That defense was so elite. All the guys that they sent to the NFL. A lot of holes to fill, and you thought, okay, maybe they're going to figure things out in the first couple weeks. And I think we're just realizing the defense is not the same.
Right.
The weapons are young on the outside. They need time to develop. They're Miss Rocket Sanders more than anybody maybe imagined. And just not a team that maybe was, now we can tell in hindsight, deserving of the ranking that we saw earlier. And we gave them a lot of credit because how good Dylan Stewart is and how good Lenora Sellers is, but they had a lot of holes to fill from that team that was so good last year, and they're still a work in progress.
Pavia's night is done. Blaze Berlowitz Jr. out of Cushing, Oklahoma. Cushing High School takes over. Former New Mexico State quarterback. They've heard that's been a pipeline. By the way, Vanderbilt is in line for its second largest margin of victory against an AP ranked opponent in school history, dating back to the 1955 win against then number 17 Kentucky, in which they won by 34. This will be just their second win in their last 21 games against top 25 opponents. Of course, knocked off number 1 Alabama last year.
Timeout, South Carolina. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Carolina trying to hang in there, now facing a 3rd and 12. Pavia's night ends with 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carolina certainly has weapons on special teams, including Bakari Swain, who's got 3 punt return touchdowns on the season. And they won't get anything here.
Timeout, South Carolina. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
So 30-second timeout here, and we get a look at Bakari Swain lining up for this punt return. He's the first player in school history to have 2 in 1 game. That came against South Carolina State last week. And after he opened the season with a muff punt, he came to the sideline against Virginia Tech, and Shane Beamer put his hand on his helmet and said, "We need you. You're going to come up with a big play. I just know it." And Shane was right. Later would turn the tide in the Hokie game in the win in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then come up with 2 more last week.
Well, not sure it would matter here, but why not? He's not going to get the chance.
And they'll have it at the 36. Let's get it to our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
There's no I in team, but there is an M, an E, an A, and a T.
We had 3 flags on that play. We have not gotten an announcement yet for the flags. It was holding on the return. So that'll back up South Carolina a little bit further.
The good thing is for South Carolina fans, this new era of college football playoff expansion.
You get a mulligan.
You get a mulligan. You can lose games like this. You're allowed to get better as the season goes on. And for Vandy, you're about to start this season with a ton of momentum.
In the seam, and a first down catch made by Vandrevius Jacobs. Had a touchdown last week against South Carolina State. Three-man rush in out to the perimeter. Amazio Bennett has been quiet tonight, and a sophomore out of Greenville, South Carolina, picks up the first down on his first catch. Luke Doty in relief of Lenore Sellers has gone 15 of 20 for 124. Doty on the run, little pump fake. We don't know exactly what the injury is to Lenore Sellers. All indications are that it was a concussion based on the target and Shane Beamer's reaction, and you just hope that it's something he could come back from immediately. South Carolina will be back on the practice field on Tuesday, is how a normal week goes for Shane Beamer's team. And obviously they are a much different offense, even though they've had their shortcomings and there are some limitations here early in the season. Lenore Sellers was the rookie of the year in this league last year. He is a major difference maker. They can't afford to lose for any more time than just a half.
Yeah, he's a guy that dictates to the defense, right? The defense has to play you a certain way because of the talent with his legs, the athleticism, the ability to push the ball 65, 70 yards downfield if he needs to. He's a game changer. Didn't see the best version of him. And again, back to that interception in the red zone, changed the game.
South Carolina looking for a late score. We hit the 2-minute timeout. Vandy up 24.
Buy one Sonic Smasher and get another free. That's right, buy one hand-smashed Angus beef Sonic Smasher and get another free. It's the dual threat quarterback of burger deals. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app.
All right, Tim, I got all your policies here.
Okay, nice. But what if... Covered. Nice. But what if...
All set.
But what if...
Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense.
Oh, nice.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
What if... Ready to go!
Paradise doesn't always have palm trees. Corona, La Playa awaits.
There's no I in team, but there is an M, an E, an A, and a T.
You know what would really amp up this barbecue?
Sure do.
Let's heat it up! Hot honey grillin' beans made with the sweet heat of Mike's Hot Honey.
Grillin' beans? Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Are you sitting down? Southwest is introducing assigned seating!
Assigned seating! Now we can choose our seats before we get on the plane.
I had a dream about this!
Doesn't every airline do assigned seating?
They do now.
After careful consideration, I've decided to take my sponsorship talent to the SEC. Nope. Sorry, this would have been a lot cooler if I could actually put this hat on my head. Sanderson Farms, official chicken of the SEC.
What's it gonna be today?
It's gonna be 60 minutes of heart and passion.
It's gonna be a quarterback making something happen when the pocket breaks down.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be a tough and physical game.
Yeah, it is.
Guys, I think she means what's it gonna be for breakfast?
Oh, I even looked. You need it.
I'll have some wheat toast, please.
SEC! 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 SEC!
It's gonna be another great Saturday.
SEC Football Saturdays, served fresh, starting at 9 a.m. on SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app.
Let's take you back to October 20th, 2007. Vanderbilt scored 17 points in the first quarter. And this is the last time Vanderbilt won a road game against a ranked opponent. Mackenzie Adams went 8 of 16 for 123 and ran for 84 against head ball coach. That snapped a 7-game losing streak for Vandy to the South Carolina program, and now South Carolina won 16 straight against them. Best winning percentage for South Carolina against any current opponent. A minimum number of games, obviously. Here are the things that Vanderbilt will accomplish tonight. First 3-0 start since 2017.
I think this team just looks different. Said it a couple times, but especially at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line, their size, aggressiveness, they were able to lean on South Carolina here in this game. Really just make them want to quit up front, honestly. And defensively, slowed down the run game.
Ooh, they bring the house. Let me ask you this. What else does South Carolina, let's assume Lenora Sellers is back against Missouri. What else do they need to refine to get things going?
They need to find somebody, I think, on the outside that can be a catch after the run dynamic threat. Because look, Nick Harbor is one of the more dynamic athletes, but he's a straight line guy. He can take the top off. He's still developing as a really a #1 wide receiver that can do every route on the route tree. And they got a lot of young guys. We've said some of them tonight. Donovan Murph, Brian Rowe, Mazio Bennett. They got to find somebody on the outside that can really help Lenora Sellers when he needs to get the ball out of his hands quickly. I think that's kind of been the problem. Not a lot of catch after the run.
And they got to take on a Missouri team that put 52 on the Raging Cajuns, 606 yards. Ahmad Hardy went for 250 and 3 touchdowns on the ground. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Missouri looks good, man.
Raging Cajuns offense passing 2 for 14 today.
That's not great.
Not that great. Oh, what a catch! That's incomplete. Lawrence got his hands on it. I thought Mo Brown came down with it, but it just slipped out of his hands as he went to the turf.
Oh, great concentration to stay with it. The coverage was there from Carson Lawrence, and he just almost headstand, couldn't come down with it.
By the way, Ole Miss knocked off Arkansas tonight in a close one, 41-35. Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss threw for 353 and a touchdown. Not bad for a guy who was playing Division II last year. Now on 2nd and 10, tipped and intercepted. It's Brian Longwell this time. Another South Carolina turnover. 4th of the night for the Gamecocks, and Vanderbilt is going to leave Soda City with a momentum win, and the Commodores are going to start with a win in conference play for the first time since 2011.
It's a great job getting your hands up. If you don't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. And Keanu caught there, getting a hand up, knocking it off target. And I tell you what, this is it's going to put Vanderbilt on notice to the rest of the SEC. This is one that's going to get a lot of coaches that have Vandy on the schedule kind of going, wait a minute.
Yeah. And I think to the nation, right?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Enter the rankings likely. 3 straight 20-point wins for the first time to open a season since 1930. Clark Lee has been making history at his alma mater the last couple of years, no doubt.
Deserves all the credit for what he did to build this program back to a point where
game clock operator.
Vandy was not just respected, but now
15 seconds,
feared in a lot of ways for what they're able to do on both sides of the football.
At the end of the last play.
A Vanderbilt man through and through, and he should take a lot of pride in the way his football team has played.
That was the Capers family in the stands.
General Blaze. Blaze up next after this series. Check it out.
They all rolled in here from Sumter. Miles Capers has a pick tonight.
The reason why we're winning, God, baby.
What a reinvention of a football career by that guy, Diego Pavia. From junior college to New Mexico State. And then he gets into Vanderbilt, and he has turned this program around. Vandy's going to go to 3-0. South Carolina will suffer its first loss of the season and go on the road to Missouri for a night game next Saturday night. And Shane Beamer's got to figure some things out. Clark Lee, looks like Vandy's got it figured out. He's standing by with Cole Kublik.
Clark, you were gracious enough a year ago when we sat down with you to walk us through this journey of you sort of reinventing yourself, a long look in the mirror. Not a lot of people can do that in any facet of life, much less being a head football coach. There's a lot of me watching this game tonight that feels like this is sort of an accumulation of what that process was for you.
I don't know if I'm reinventing, but I'm inventing. You know, I'm learning because I'm still new at this. But hey, tonight's about our team. It's about our players, our coaching staff that prepared them the right way. Yeah, it's a good South Carolina team. This is an excellent environment, and I'm just really proud of them, and I want the story to be about them.
There are a lot of descriptions of how you guys have looked this year compared to last year. Jordan, Tom, and I both share different thoughts of it. The thing that stuck out to me during this game was edge. Line of scrimmage, different facets of your team. How do you go about finding that within a team from one season to the next?
Well, as part of it's building. Part of it has always been there. It's been young. It's been growing. Obviously, we made some changes a year ago that I think changed the attitude of our program. And we've got guys that are bought in. The new players, they come into something that has a pulse to it. And so it takes them little time to adjust. We look for very specific guys, and games in our league are going to be physical. Games in our league are going to be one up front, and I'm proud of the way the guys played on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
There's a word that I heard you guys use multiple times pregame. You used it in our meetings. I've heard your players use it. It's confidence. How do you make it as strong as it is with this football team this year?
Oh, I don't know. We work. These guys work really hard. They invest a lot in it. We do the right things the right way. That's where confidence starts. And obviously that we've gotten some results now. We know how to play. We know we're going to be in every single game. We're going to have to play well to win. But this has been a 5-year build. I mean, it just takes time to change an environment. And I'm grateful for all the people that are here to help me do that.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Well, a very humble approach for Clark Lee and for this Vanderbilt program. And his humbleness belies the swagger that comes from his starting quarterback, who wins as an underdog for the 14th time. We'll be back with more from South Carolina after this.
All of the action. News, opinions, and analysis. Weekdays